So today, just for entertainment, let's see how am I building a table. And of course it's going to be a funny video because I don't have the right tools for it, I don't have the skills for it. I'm not a woodworker. As you probably know, I'm good at completely different things. And of course the table is going to be built completely for free. I came across a trashed bed where I took these pieces of wood. So I have these planks of wood. I quickly cut it into pieces using this and brought the useful ones home, and this is going to be the part of my table. And I have some other pieces of scrap wood from some demolished furniture, some old screws from also something demolished, some used drill for $10 including shipping, a supermarket jigsaw for about $20 here. This one I got as a gift. And the top of the table is going to be this board, which I already cut to size using the jigsaw. Of course the edge of it is totally straight. It's also from some scrapped furniture, and I guess this shiny finish was popular in the 60s or 70s or 80s, I don't know. Whatever it was, now it's becoming a broke guy's table. And the table is going to go under my super hot chilies, which I'm growing. Even more chili plants here. So I need an extra table to go under the flower pots, of course. Now I have to straighten the end of this, because it was cut in a hurry using this angle grinder with this disc, which can basically cut wood with all the nails and screws still in it. I don't have any table saw and I don't even have a space for it. I'm thinking about buying a circular saw, but now the only thing I have is this. So I put this right angle support on this, placing it on it, and it will basically guide my jigsaw to cut it straight like this. This is going to be totally straight. I guess it could be worse. Nice. I guess it's a right angle with about 5-degree tolerance. And of course woodworking helps me realize how beginners in electronics probably feel like. I work with electronics for 30 years, but things like woodworking or growing plants remind me what it's like to be a beginner. I went through the stage of plants not growing, just getting yellow, dying, all the leaves falling off. And now of course my woodworking attempts that look just absolutely horrible. It's projecting a laser line which is off by several millimeters, but, well, it was for $20. Now it's starting to remind of a table. It's basically going to be this board, some frame here and some legs. Of course the funny thing is I've made the frame before thinking about how the legs are going to be mounted in it. And now the legs of it, and this one already has a hole in it, so I will recycle it as a hole to mount it to the table, or one of the holes. Nice. I want my table to be 55 centimeters tall, and the board is 2 centimeters, so the legs have to be 53 centimeters. But of course the trickiest part about the legs of a table is that they are supposed to be all sort of a similar length. I wanted to try what it's like to use this tool to drill the holes. It's definitely hard work. And of course in this one the hole is thicker and in this one thinner. A thicker bit for this part of the screw to go in more or less freely, and a thinner bit for this part of the screw, so it's tight enough in it but it doesn't split your wood. Nice! So the frame with the legs is together and now it has to be mounted to the board. And for you to see how it's done, every corner has 4 screws in it, 2 here and another 2 between them from here. Probably a horrible way of doing it, but it works and it's quite solid. Surprisingly, none of the 8 holes came out through the top. And that's it. And here's the schematic of it. And because you typically don't have the exact right length of a screw to mount it to the board without the tip going through, you can basically bury the heads of the screw deeper into it to adjust it. So the head of the screw is here, and the screw goes in here, like this. In this diameter of a hole it actually screws in tightly. And this diameter is for it to just slide in, and this diameter is to allow the head into it. I hope it's all clear from the picture. And here's the finished table. Well, I'm just kidding. It's actually stable. It seems my measurement was right when measuring the legs. It actually ended up much nicer than I expected. Of course it's not perfect, it's quite rough, but maybe that's the point of it. I like things that were apparently made by humans, not machines. I really don't like the perfection obsession people suffer from today, which makes them buy plastic furniture, like the finish made of plastic and with a picture of wood on it. And every time there is a tiny scratch on it they have to trash it and buy another. But I prefer my trash table, made entirely of materials that otherwise would go to a scrapyard. The reason to replace something is when it completely falls apart, not when it has a scratch on it. Why are you so obsessed with perfect things when apparently you are very far from perfect? I don't like how people are just buying and trashing and buying and trashing and buying and trashing things all the time and of course working around the clock to pay for all of it. Basically a deliberate slavery. And I like using something that already has a lot of scratches and dents on it because then using it is completely stressless. You don't have to worry about damaging it. This thing can work for me for the rest of my life. And then of course somebody replaces it with some 3D printed self-decomposing piece of plastic. So that's it, and I hope you occasionally don't mind a slightly different topic. And always remember, you're a good enough person without surrounding yourself with perfect things.